Oh my God, the shrooms episode was so good. You and Nathan are just hilarious together.
He's been like one of my best friends since high school.
He is otherworldly.
He's I need you to do his chart because I really do think he's like one of the like most special human beings in my life. And I feel like me and him have been bonding lately because we also have been exiled from our high school group of friends. And I just always thought he was like just like so special and different, and not different, but just so special. And people sometimes just don't see the way don't see him the way that I see him. And
Is he an Aquarius
I don't know.
too?
No, he's a Sag.
Oh my God, that's why I loved him. That's my destiny in my birth chart. I gotta learn to be crazy like him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Sag is the sign of psychedelics.
Yeah, no, he's. Oh my God. I mean, like immediately as soon as he feels high, it's like game over. Like I don't think he's not the type of person that knows how to like just go with the flow. Sometimes I love him to death, but that's just that's who.
Yeah, but he's amazing. He's definitely an interdimensional being and like traveling through reality through a different lens.
I agree. Okay, should we get started? Because I feel like we just have so much to cover.
We had so many Mercury
so much to
retrograde
talk
technical difficulties before this too.
Literally. And it's like, is this really the best idea to do a virtual episode in the middle of Mercury retrograde? I don't know, but we're doing
It's
it.
happening.
Yeah. Okay, let me do intros and then we'll get into it.
Please.
Hi guys, it's me, Stefanie Maegan, your host of Vocal Therapy. And guess who we have back, because it's been about a motherfucking year? Danny motherfucking Santos, Astro motherfucking Daddy, and the Crystal motherfucking Visions, bitch.
That's right, bitch. We're back. We're back. Hey, I'm here for it.
I was thinking about it. You haven't been in any of like the 2023 episodes. Like the last time you've been on was December 2022 going to 2023.
Oh my God, that's right. When we were doing the tarot for the coming year, which we got to do some of that today.
Exactly. We have to do a little bit of that today and also just catch up, because one of the biggest reasons why we haven't been seeing each other is because, well, one, I live in the Bay and you like moved back to Michigan, but also you were in fucking Peru.
Finally completed my ayahuasca shamanism training, 2 months in Peru.
And I've been dying to like want to know the experience and what you went through. But are you like certified like shaman now?
I am officially a shaman. I can officially distribute ayahuasca by the lineage of the Shipibo tribe, given to me by the elder Don Enrique Lopez Fasanando. I can serve ayahuasca.
This is it. Okay, so now we could do ayahuasca. Like we could actually plan for it.
I'm actually going to be starting my faith-based organization to begin serving ayahuasca for 2024. I'm starting it in February.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to do, because I want to do ayahuasca. I feel like there's a lot of healing that I need to do. And I've been like talking about just kind of like the struggles I've been going lately, which is like self-image and like self-love. And I need to heal some shit, man. I need to like rewire my motherfucking brain, bitch.
Well, the thing with ayahuasca, it will rewire not just your brain, but your nervous system, your body, your gut, your stomach, all of your intestines. Like this shit works.
This is crazy. Okay, so let's start from like when you get to Peru and you're like, okay, I'm going to become an ayahuasca shaman. Like, what was this experience like?
Well, there's definitely two main elements to it. There's the actual course itself and the experience of like being there, learning how to be a shaman, taking classes every day, learning the techniques and the tools. And then there's the personal side of it where it's like, I'm in Peru. I ended up like fasting for a total of 44 days while I was in Peru. Like no food, only water, and living off of like some days I would drink a plant liquid, but like this is not advised for most people. Okay. I ended up losing a total of 55 pounds while I was on this trip. And then like, in total losing 77 now.
How long were you in Peru?
I was in Peru for 2 months. So
Okay.
the
So
course to become a shaman was 60 days, maybe a little bit over that. But I was there, I came like a week early and I stayed like 14 days longer than the rest of the other students.
holy shit. So was that part of the process to like fast?
Well, the way that they taught us there is in ayahuasca tradition, the one that I'm working through, the Shipibo lineage, if you fast, you do this process, what's called a dieta, where you're merging a plant to your soul as a means of gaining the wisdom and teachings of that plant. And if you fast, where you don't eat food and you only drink water, it doubles how strong the connection with that plant spirit is. And if you don't eat food or drink water, it triples the connection. So I only did no food, no water for a max of 4 days. But other than that, I was doing no food on the other time.
And I mean, I feel like it's the obvious, but like, what were you feeling? Like, how was that?
Well, you know,
Uh,
I've been super like open in public about my eating disorder and like talking about, you know, suffering with binge eating. And then I've also gone through periods where I'd fast too much and just kind of the extremes that went through it. Doing this where you're not eating for like weeks on end. I mean, I did 15 days of no food in the first half and then 29 days of no food, only water in the second half. And then separate from that, I also did 4 days of no food, no water. So when you don't eat, your shit comes to the front. And anything that's buried in your fat cells, in your nervous system, in your body, like it's out and up. And girl, what I learned about myself is I have a motherfucking temper. I have a pissed person inside of me.
oh my God. I feel like if I wasn't eating too, I would be a fucking monster. Like
Well,
I just get like I get annoyed and irritated if I'm not like if I'm hungry,
yeah.
you
So
know.
imagine like that feeling of like being hangry, but like amplified times like 1,000. Where like there
Oh my
was 15
gosh.
other students on the course and I came in and I was friends with just about everybody when I started. I lost about half of my friends by the end of the course because I was so prickly and angry and like yelling at people. And you know, the course to becoming a shaman is not necessarily an easy one because you have to face your demons. And I realized the source of my eating disanger or my eating disorder was anger. Eating disanger, I guess, is really what it should be called.
You're literally right.
So I
Oh
find
my
that
God. Okay.
that was like learning that food is my coping mechanism and not being able to use that to shove my emotions down. All of a sudden, I was like, the littlest thing, I learned that the thing that makes me the most pissed off is having my boundaries crossed, being told what to do, or being disrespected. And like little things constantly. I was like just going off. And I was working specifically with a plant ally, a plant spirit that focuses on helping you integrate your shadow self. So everybody's got something different. My shadow self is an angry person.
Whoa. So and other people were also fasting. Like, how are they reacting? Like, how are they kind of taking it of
Yeah.
not having to eat anything? Like, were they as
Well,
angry as you too?
mm, I think a lot of that came down to like the fact that we were trapped in the middle of the Amazon jungle for like 2 months with no contact to the outside world, no cell service, no computer. Like literally one girl was like, yeah, it's the real housewives of the rainforest. Like there was so much drama
Literally.
that happened between like the tribe and the people in the course and the facilitators. And I understand how when people go away on a reality show for 2 months, how they like lose their minds, because I think that's what everybody was experiencing during this time.
What were the like different processes you had to go through besides fasting in
Sure. Well,
Peru? Like just to get
yeah,
for
in
those
order to,
who want to do this, you know?
yeah, yeah.
I was just saying that like it's so not relatable to like my life, you know? Because I'm like, so it's for someone else to go through something so like different from my experience. I just want to know everything. So that's why.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the fasting, basically, we're talking about this process of doing the dieta or the diet where you're merging the plant to your soul. So when you drink the tincture of that plant, you have to wait, you know, fast for like 48 hours. So that's really the most that anybody is required to fast, 48 hours. But again, if you want to double or triple your connection to the plant spirit, you go longer. So I was like, well, I'm here for 2 months, go big or go home. But on top of that, we were given like a whole textbook, which I have over here, that's filled with, it's like 20 songs of Shipibo Icaros. And Icaros are the songs that they sing during an ayahuasca ceremony. And it's in a different language. It's in an ancient language that's 5,000 years old. So nobody knows how the fuck to sing this stuff or how to pronounce the words. So you have to study for like hours every day. And then they teach you how to do like plant remedies, how to cure people with different plants, how to serve ayahuasca ethically, how to make sure that nobody's going to like lose their mind or they're not on any antidepressants or anything that's going to be contraindicated. So they teach you from beginning to end how to become an ayahuasca shaman. And it was incredible. It was a phenomenal journey, but really hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds so hard. Okay, so coming out of this, do you feel like it made you a completely different person?
I do. And talking to people, like, people are just like, you seem so much more grounded. You know, I realized that my ego, or like wanting to be the center of attention, or wanting to like, enough was never enough for me. And that meant like, no matter how much food I ate, like I didn't feel full, quote unquote. No matter how much attention I got, I didn't feel like I was worthy. And what this all really boiled down to for me was realizing like, at the end of the day, if I don't like myself or love myself, no amount of food, no amount of attention, no amount of sex, nothing can ever fill that void for anybody else. So the way that I feel different is I actually like myself, and I'm really learning to love myself now.
Oh, that's so beautiful, Danny.
So, but it's like, I
want to feel
people
that
can
way.
relate. Well, that's what I want
Yeah.
other people to feel. Like, it's a relatable feeling, right?
Yeah. I feel like for me though, lately it's like I love who I am as a person. Like I truly do. It's more so I'm just not okay with how I look. I'm never satisfied. I've never been satisfied. It's a lot of like body dysmorphia. I can never, I don't know. I've never, even at the times when I was the most confident, I still was struggling a lot with it, And I feel like now it's gotten to a point where I think it's affecting me more.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm on camera more, And so, and also I've gained the most weight the last like 3 years since the pandemic. And then also being the last 3 years being on camera more than I've ever have been being on the show and stuff like that. So like just seeing like the changes and seeing all the flaws, I'm just like, oh, like my anxiety.
Yeah.
I need ayahuasca.
Yes, you do, baby. And I'm going to serve you, and we're going to go through the whole experience together. And ideally, this would be something that we do over a long period of time, because the exact same thing. I was 77 pounds heavier than I am today. I was eating like ferociously on a daily basis, like just shoving food into my body, not documenting my calories, not exercising, spending hours a day just on social media, which I still do to this day. But, in my free time, it's about finding ways to be healthy that are sustainable. Like I still eat ice cream and pizza sometimes, and I have a great relationship to food now. I'm officially in remission for my eating disorder. So I just want to be a voice of hope for anybody listening. Not only can you change, but you can still enjoy the foods you like. You can still hang out with the people you love. You don't have to change anything other than having moderation. Like that's literally the only thing that changes.
Yeah. I think it's just, I struggle with like the self-discipline of that,
Yeah.
And also not knowing how to have moderation sometimes. Like what does moderation look like?
And that's something that's not taught in our culture. I think it's really easy for us to fall into extremes. Social media is the culture of more, more, more. And I know you just had Nadej on the show recently. She taught me that social media is set up to create dualities. How many likes did I get? Somebody unfollowed me. Do you like me or did you not like my post? Did you even see my last post? How many people have their eyes on me? Like, this is very dualistic in nature, and it can be incredibly harmful. And if your self-worth is based on how much other people are seeing you, it's one thing to have a great following and to be a voice and an advocate for people, but it's another thing if like you're feeling lonely and sad and there's not the internal systems in place to help you stay happy and be happy.
Yeah. Well, it sucks.
Well, I just want to
And
say, like,
sometimes I'm just like,
I'm going to help you from beginning to end through this process. Like, you and I are going to work together, and I want to help you become the person that you want to be.
I would love that because it's not only is it yes wanting to put in the work and the changes to like lose weight and be healthier, but it's also the mental part of it too. It's both. It's the physical and the mental. Where even if I do lose the weight, right, I do all the work and stuff. Being able to like love myself even through the process, and or just sometimes just not even just loving myself, yeah, but getting to the point of neutrality. Neutrality, is that a word? Neutrality. Getting to the point of just being neutral about it, just like it's not about hating myself, but it's not about like being super crazy positive. It's just being happy where I'm at. Because I think to be constantly like loving my body so positively when in reality my body as a woman is going to drastically change. It's not going to look the same after I have kids. It's not going to look the same, when I get older, and my body's not going to look the same as I did when I was 16 years old. It's just constantly changing, and I have to be okay with that.
100%.
So like deep, you guys.
No, that's what this is what I always get out of you whenever we do recording.
Always,
pulling your feels out.
Yeah, and I was like borderline want to cry. And then I do.
Well, I am considering going back to school to get a master's degree in like psychology, so I can start opening up a private practice and doing therapy with people. So
you should. I mean, I think like your calling is to heal people.
Well, I've been through a lot of trauma in my life. I've been through physical abuse, sexual abuse. I've been through like dating an alcoholic ex, being in an affair with a married man. Like, I don't know. There's just, the list goes on and on. Eating disorder survivor, like anything that anyone is suffering with, I'm just starting to get a grasp on my life. And I'm understanding like not only is remission possible, but like, I think I've said this before, it's our birthright to feel safe in our bodies and to like your life and to love who you are. And if you are in a place in your life where you don't feel like you are where you want to be, we need to ask for help. Like I started working with a nutritionist, seeing a therapist, going to the gym. I used ChatGPT to write a workout plan for myself. And then I used YouTube.
Wait, really? ChatGPT could do that?
Yes, literally.
Wait, stop.
Yes. Like all I did was type in Monday through Saturday workout. I want to target all of the major body systems. Give me a workout that's simple and effective without going overboard. And it's like each workout takes me about 55 minutes to complete. That's how I started going to the gym. I used ChatGPT to write a workout.
That is life-changing because, I mean, I know that, like, some people, it's controversial using AI, However, because I've been thinking, like, okay, I need to really come up with, like, a workout plan because I know how to work out. I've had trainers. I've been to the gym. I've taken a lot of classes. It's a matter of, again, just coming up with the plan. Like, I feel like I need someone to tell me or I just need something to follow because sometimes I show up to the gym and I'm like, guess I'll go do some arms over here, And so, and like I told myself, I'm like, okay, like I need to start like writing out a plan, but I've just been kind of lazy to do that. So I would like it to be a quicker process because I'm impatient, and it's good. I mean, that's a good idea to use ChatGPT to help put that together.
But not only did it write my workout plan, like then once you have the workouts, if there's anything you don't know how to do, I watch YouTube shorts and I'm like, okay, how do I do a one-hand dumbbell row? And then it teaches me how to do the workout.
Yeah.
And so every single time I'm in the gym, I'm like on my phone watching YouTube, and now I'm actually memorizing how to do the form to this stuff. And if I come back to a workout, I'm like, I don't know if that form was correct. I go back to the video, voila. Like It's literally one of
Yeah.
the best things that's ever happened to me, because as I've lost weight and like am back in the gym, now I'm eating enough and putting on muscle and still losing body fat. Like, it's literally the best
So
thing in the
happy for
entire
you.
world. Thank you.
Yeah. I think sometimes I get, and I'll admit this, and I really try to not think of it as much because I know it's not a good thing to hold you back. But I always get like shy at the gym, you know?
Okay.
Because it's you go to the gym and you see all these like really fit people and like they're with their shirts off and and like really fit girls with their like crop tops and shit. And I'm just like, not there yet. But then it kind of like sometimes gets me nervous that I am there and I have to remind myself like, but you're here. Like, and that's what's important, you know? But I do
No,
get a bit of that gym shyness for sure.
I just gotta say, the gym that I go to here, I'm staying at my parents' house in Michigan right now. The gym that I go to is right next to a high school, and there's like a bunch of kids who come in and work out there, and like I'm intimidated by these high schoolers who are more fit than I. I just feel like
Real.
these kids are in so much better shape, and they're probably looking at me like this 30-year-old dude with the beard, and like, they're probably thinking the same thing. So there's that side of things, but then also the people that are like super buff and like in good shape, they're so into themselves and looking at themselves in the mirror the whole time. They don't even
I was
care
gonna
that I'm
say,
there. They don't even care.
that's what I tell myself too. Like the ones who are the gym rats, I'm like, they're just focused on themselves. Like I try to I like remind myself when I'm there when I do that. And and a lot of times it is true. I think sometimes, I hear like these other girls or girls are friends with me like, oh yeah, like I got hit on at the gym. And I'm like, girl, when I go to the gym, I'm like, I'm what? No, no, please. I don't even want to be looked at. I'm really just, like no man has ever hit on me at the gym,
You might be surprised though.
so no, I've never been hit on the gym. I just go with like my biker shorts and like a oversized tee and I'm just messy bun.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to like be seen.
Well, it's timely that we're talking
But
about this as people are like getting ready for the new year and stuff, because what I always tell my clients is like Christmas is the final exam, Christmas and New Year's, because it's the end of the year. You get this moment to like see how much did you love the people that are there, how good did you do this last year? And then New Year's gives you the opportunity, like, what do I want to change in my life this year? And literally the best way to change is incrementally. You can't go from 0 to 60 off the bat, or else you're not going to go anywhere.
yeah, like I even try to tell myself, even just going and showing up and doing it for 15 minutes, you know, like just getting myself used to just showing up.
Yeah.
Is sometimes I try to just use that as a step. And it works for a little bit. Actually, it was like before when I was living in Oakland, I for a good couple months, I was going pretty consistently to like the classes, like to the yoga classes, Pilates, like every week, 3-4 times a week. And a lot of just what was my biggest battle and accomplishment was just going,
Yeah.
doing the class or going and just doing like shit, even cardio for 15 minutes, just showing up. And then I was able to like see myself really implementing that to my schedule. And then it kind of fell apart because a lot of things, like I was traveling a lot and then we decided to move. So now it's like having to like redo that habit again. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, if you
So
can just get into like some kind of routine. I mean, I have ADHD. I believe you do as well. We've talked pretty extensively about
yeah,
this. And for people with ADHD,
it's
or
our personality at this
I
point.
know, fine, seriously. Although I have to admit, after my ayahuasca training and working out, my ADHD has gone down a lot. I feel a
Really?
lot, yeah, I feel a
Oh,
lot more centered and grounded. I mean, I'm still like daydreaming like fucking crazy. It's not something that's ever going to go away, but I don't feel like I don't know what to do every second of the day. But
like as
people,
chaotic.
yes, but people with ADHD, what I do know is a lot of times the neurodivergence of that comes from trauma, or it can be inherited genetically. And people like us need systems and structures and routine in order to overcome our ADHD, because otherwise, when we're just playing life free for all freestyle version, like the lack of structure makes it very difficult for us to stay consistent,
Oh, for sure. I 1000% agree.
you know?
Because I think even just with like my show, it's so funny. Like the twins are like, you're so organized with your show. And it's because obviously there's been a lot of trial and error. And one, it's like when you're so passionate about something, yet kind of like extremely hyper focused.
Right.
But in order to get shit done, I did have to create just a system of routine in order to be able to commit, and to do
Yeah.
this full time because yeah, like I can't be like loosey goosey because if I'm loosey goosey, bitch, it's chaos.
Well, and I also
So
just want to say for anybody listening who is like resistant to starting something new or trying something new, like my biggest fear is going into a job and getting fired because I've been fired twice. And
yeah,
yeah, we've talked
too.
about this. And when you start a new job, the biggest fear is that you have to learn new skills. You have to start doing new things. You're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes. And for me, I always talk myself out of being able to start something new all the time because I'm like, oh, I'm just going to fail at it anyway. And with my whole journey of starting going to the gym and changing up my diet and everything, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try with no expectations. And if I need to consult with somebody, maybe I can pay for a session here or there to talk to a nutritionist here, a trainer there, and just micro adjust things. And like this has led me to now I work out 6 days a week. I eat 2,050 calories a day, which actually puts me where I'm consistently losing weight. I want to lose this last 10 pounds that I've got. And I'm still putting muscle on. Like my body looks beautiful. I feel very happy. I feel very stable. I still eat things like pizza and cookies on occasion. Like I have a really stable relationship to food. So I just want people to know like it's not going to happen overnight, but the changes, if you do it the right way, will happen by themselves because it's a lifestyle change. But this change should be something that you like, that fits into your life, that doesn't feel like an uphill battle.
Agreed. I like that.
Because
It looks such a positive way to look at it.
yeah, well, that's what a lifestyle change is. But, I think people are like, oh, I have to become this person that I don't want to be. Well, my favorite thing in the entire world is a peanut butter and banana milkshake. And now I have peanut butter and banana protein shakes. And it tastes like ice cream. And I put
There you
ice,
go.
and it's like, it's literally the best part of my day is eating this protein shake. And I get to do it every day. Whereas before I could only eat that once a month. In my head, that's what I told myself.
Yeah. Well, going back to what you said about like starting a new job and like the anxiety of like having to learn something new, like I recently just started like a new job, like part time, and social media for me is like the most. It's one of my strongest skill sets, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
and I, just starting a new job, it's just really. Like I had like anxiety again of like I'm gonna get fired. Like every time I do something wrong as a new person would, I I'm so much more harder on myself than I think any other person would be, And it just I have to like talk myself out of it a lot of times. And I'm just like, man, I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna get fired. And I always like have that like voice in my head that doesn't shut the fuck up, when it's like, no, you're doing a great job. And yes, you make mistakes, but you're not, I just, yeah. So when you said that, I was like, oh my God. Literally, like, one of my biggest anxieties is starting a new job or just working for somebody and making a mistake.
Well, and I think people carry that
So,
same anxiety into things like working out, eating healthy. Like anytime there's room for failure, our brain instantly wants to protect us and is like, no, I'm not going to do that because I could fail or somebody could think less of me. Like we're talking about being in the gym and thinking what people are going to think about you being in there, and you're not, walking in as what's his name, George in the Jungle. Like, you're coming in as yourself. But like, who cares? You have to be willing to make mistakes if you're making progress.
It's so true. I think sometimes it's not that like it's the fear of doing it. Like I'll be completely honest, it's the laziness Like sometimes I just be real lazy, like it's been a long day. The last thing I want to do is to like move my body, and I think that's like my biggest struggles is lacking motivation sometimes. Like I'm such a motivated person when it comes to like what I'm doing right now, but when it comes to going to the gym daily, oh, it's a battle. So, but again, that's why I started doing like just show up. Just don't even try to, because I think that I have to go and do the most and like try to beat fucking Tarzan over there, you know what I mean? And just like be like, crazy gym rat. But sometimes it's just about showing up for yourself. So I just try to like tell myself that, but
Yeah. Well, after I
we're a
got
work in
back,
progress over here.
totally. After I'd gotten back from my trip to Peru, I had talked to my ex, who I've talked about on here before, the married guy. And I told him.
Yeah. Well, that was on Patreon. That
Oh,
episode.
yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure I've talked about it on other episodes too. But, he and I, we still keep in touch from time to time, especially because he's like in super good shape. So when I did start working out and doing this ChatGPT workout, I called him because I wanted to ask some questions. And what he said to me really changed my life. He said, when you are weightlifting, less really is more. You don't need to do a whole lot in order to see results. And in fact, you don't need to do any cardio. The weightlifting and diet combined in a proper way, your body will just start eating itself in a healthy way and then putting muscle on. So it's not rocket science. It's just to lose weight and to lift weights and to exercise and do the diet. It's a specialized skill set. The same way that you have a skill set editing podcasts, the same way that I have an astrology skill set or an ayahuasca skill set. Like, we just need access to the correct information in order to get the results. So what you might be thinking is laziness could really just be like mental fatigue, that you don't have the routine in place yet, and it's going to take a lot of energy to create it. But once you get it down, you'll be fine. It's like starting a new job.
That's true. You're so right.
So you're not lazy.
You're always right.
And anybody listening, like if you have a hard time starting something new, it's not that you're lazy. It's that you don't have the experience of doing this new skill set. But like anything in life, when you start a new job, when you're starting a new workout routine, whatever it might be, going back to school, it just requires that you get into the swing of something you've never done before, or coming back to something that maybe you've not done for a long time.
That's very true. And we're going to implement that tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking, if you're down, Steph, I'd love to like schedule a time where you and I just like sit down and literally like create your plan together and talk about what that would look like. And if you just want somebody to help you,
I would love that. I don't know. I'm gonna cry.
Of course, I want to help you. Like literally, because you have somebody who loves you, who wants to help you.
And I always have to cry. I'm like, you want to help me? Tears.
Of course. For what you've done for me in my life, because I've been on Broke Girl Therapy, I've got 39,000 followers on TikTok. I've gained tons of clients. Like, you've changed my life. The most that I can do, the least that I can do for you is to offer to help you in return. But I mean, if anything, it can just be, I can start with you. And if anybody is following your journey and sees your results and is enjoying it, like, that's what this is all about. I want people to understand that change is not only possible, but it's something that we can create at any moment in our lives. It's just, you can't change by yourself. You need help. Everybody does. I couldn't do it.
That's so true. Like, I'm really tearing up, you guys. Like, it's wet. She's wet.
She's
I know. No, I would actually like, because I really want to make that. Oh God, sorry. Let me just gather my tears. I really. This episode's gonna be out in January, so this is obviously the start of the new year, and so I really want to make that like my biggest goal.
Yeah. Well, Brian and I
maybe like once a month or something.
We can do more than that. Brian and I meet
or more
right
than
now.
That.
Wiki and I have been meeting once every 6 months, but if you guys would want to do it so that, like, I'd be down to meet with you guys one on one week, the other on the other week, and then just start helping you guys get the tools to become who you want to be. I mean,
I'm down. Let's do that.
yeah. Because look, if you have somebody to check in with, to text with, to ask questions about, like, I'm not a certified trainer, I'm not a certified nutritionist, but I know what worked for me, and I can give you the tools that I had to literally create myself or pay somebody else to teach me.
Yeah, I'm down. Sometimes I just even need a friend,
Yeah, if you just literally want to talk to me about how you're stressed with your new job, or if you're feeling like underappreciated somewhere else in your life, like that all is going to compound to whatever excess weight you're holding on to, because stress turns into cortisol. Cortisol stops us from being healthy. Like, however you can get it out. That's my gift to this world, is just helping people eliminate what's stuck, what they can't get rid of themselves.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Game on.
I'm also thinking about maybe, I mentioned I want to go to grad school, but I'm also thinking I want to maybe go to school to become like a fitness instructor, so that I can like write programs for clients as well. And just, I think that would be really
You should just do it all.
I want to. And then I can have my ayahuasca church, and then who knows?
It just be like a one-stop shop.
Well, that's the goal. If my job on this planet is to help people heal, like, the more ways we can do it, hey. But I want people to know you don't have to eat celery and bone broth in order to lose weight. Like, you can love your diet and lifestyle. Like, I eat foods I love every single day. I used to think bread was off limits, and now I eat like 4 slices of bread a day.
Then let's do this. I want to need like someone to help me. Just like start off with like what to eat weekly,
And guess what?
I think sometimes that's my biggest thing, is like, I don't know what to eat,
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what to eat.
You can probably eat more than you think you can. Because what was happening to me is, before I started documenting my calories, I don't count my calories as a form of obsessively like trying to micromanage myself. I do it because when I count my calories, I actually get to eat more than I think I do. So every single day I go to bed feeling satiated. I've eaten enough food, and I get to eat. I eat like 5 times throughout the entire day, and 3 of those are big meals, and then 2 of them are snacks. So that's the other thing about like a healthy lifestyle, is you get to eat more than you think you're supposed to.
Okay, let's do it.
We're going to do it. I got you.
I just even eat. Sometimes, like, there's even moments where I'm just like, I just need someone to just motivate me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, to get me out of that, like, that mindset, So I'll be calling. I'll be texting.
I got you, boo. And then we also gotta. I love you too, of course. And then if we can do like a, like twice a month meeting, and I'll do it with Brian too, So I'll do you on 2 weeks, Brian on 2 weeks. And then we, along with diet, we can also talk about mindset and how you need to change the way that you think so that you can change the way that you move through the world.
For sure.
So emotional. We should do like a broke girl therapy challenge or something, where people are just encouraged to like, hey, like, try something new, go for it, go for a walk. I don't know.
We should, or just even document the journey. We don't have to document every 2 weeks for them, but like just every so often, I think, just so make it inspire others. Oh, God.
I got you. Don't you worry. We're gonna work on this together, and don't worry about anything. My mom is walking and giving me.
And I think for me, like, oh, hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
And for me, I'm the type of person. For me, I'm the type of person that like, and this is why I've decided that I like taking like workout classes, is because I love doing these type of activities with other people, and I like thrive in a more like group setting, or like working with somebody. It just fits my personality when it comes to like, especially something like this. So like, just you even be like, I'll be here for you to like talk it through and like motivate you. I'm just like, it means a lot,
Yeah. Well, a
I
lot
also
of the
need like a
time.
gym bestie. Whoever's down to be my gym bestie, let me know if you live in LA.
Look, if
Let
I
me
was in
know.
LA, I would come and meet you for some of your workouts. Like, when I'll be there in February. Like, there.
Yeah, we'll go work out.
Yeah, but it's like
Or even like go on a hike or something,
absolutely. Like again, it doesn't need to. You're not reinventing the wheel. Like if you're spending more than an hour working out, it might be too much, especially in the beginning. It should be something
Right.
quick, in, out, done.
Yeah. Just be consistent with that.
Yeah.
You're
But
right.
again, don't fall into the trap of thinking like it's got to be perfect or you're not going to make mistakes or that quote unquote laziness. You're not lazy. Look at your life. Look at all the work you do. It's that you don't have a skill and you just need to develop a new skill. That's all it is.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay, I'm down. Let's do it. Let's make this change.
Well, and your destiny sign
Guys.
in your birth chart is Capricorn, which is the sign of like, learning new skills and learning to find yourself. And it takes time and developing consistency and discipline. Like these are things that are going to help you. And Capricorn's my rising sign. I got this. I got you.
Perfect. It's like we're meant to be.
Duh. Hello.
Okay, so now should we tap into doing a tarot reading? Maybe like something for the year?
Hell yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so if we're talking about broke girl therapy, all right, so a card just flipped up. So a card that I guess is starting for you is the Two of Swords. So when we look at this card, the Two of Swords is ruled by the zodiac sign Libra, and it's when the moon is in Libra. So the moon is our emotions, Libra is the card of balance. So your like lesson for this year is learning to bring yourself into balance, taking your darkness and your light and holding them equal to each other. It's not the idea that you're just going to completely banish the darkness and all of a sudden you're like magically just this angelic holy being. The Two of Swords is about saying she's like Lady Justice. She's got all of herself fully integrated and she's able to stand in her strength, knowing the darkness and the light and holding both sides of herself equally. So what does that mean to you?
Oh. I'm still trying to understand because I feel like with therapy, as far as like balance, maybe it's just, I think lately I've been stressed with like numbers,
Sure.
Like I feel like my numbers this year were as great as last year, if I'm being very transparent. Not that they sucked, like it wasn't, but it's still kind of like, I expect and have a goal for myself to grow every single year. And this year there wasn't any growth. I think it was like
keep in mind
a
that the
little
TikTok
less,
algorithm changed a lot over the last year and like things don't go viral as easy as they did in the beginning because you went from 0 to 60 and then it just now
Yes, yeah.
explodes like that anymore.
Yeah, it's a lot harder at least. And like, I mean, there's Instagram where, and it's like, I'm not even talking about social media numbers, even at that. I'm talking about like the podcasts, like Rocal Therapy, because it's like sometimes a video could do really well on social media, but what's more important to me is like, does it translate to the numbers on the show? Because I would rather people listen to a full episode and like listen to the show than just the clips of social media, which is fine. That's fine too. I mean, there's two different audiences and whatever, but the main purpose for social media is to watch the show,
to market it.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like, whoa, sorry. I had a lot of karaoke yesterday, so my voice is giving out, guys. But I guess for me, it's just, yeah, I don't know, just finding the balance of maybe not doing, like, because I keep thinking, like, what can I do differently, But it's like, I want to still keep the core, the root of the show, but also find ways to improve and to be a better show, without losing its heart, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
so
we pull a card on this. All right. So that's probably this last year. And then this is where you're going. Wow. Okay. So the first card I got is the Five of Pentacles. So this is the card of like two people walking through the snow. One of them's a cripple. The other one is just like they're both homeless. And it's the card of going through a really difficult time in your life and feeling like there's no progress being made. And yet there's this church window over them, kind of almost like mocking them. And it's just, the card generally gives this feeling of hopelessness. Like, is nobody watching? Like, which is kind of funny watching your podcast. Like, is nobody listening? Is nobody watching? But the second card we pulled for you is the 10 of Pentacles. So 5 is halfway there. 10 is the whole story. The 10 of Pentacles is the card of stability, security, creating long-term legacy or wealth. So it's like playing the stocks. You have to remember that broker therapy is something that's a long-term investment. And there will be good years and not so good years. But the most important thing is that you stay consistent with this, knowing that there is a greater vision at hand. So in your birth chart, your past life sign is Cancer, the sign of letting your emotions dictate everything. Your destiny sign is Capricorn, letting your vision for the future dictate everything and understanding that everything happens on a divine timeline. So you can't beat yourself up.
Yeah, that's true. And I try to remind myself that too. It's just kind of like, it's like a business. There's some good years and there's some good, some great years. Like, it's just it can't be, I don't know. Like, I guess I compare myself, and I should stop doing this. I compare myself to like some other shows, right? That like get a really like a $20 million to $60 million contract with Spotify, or this happens to their show and they're like millionaires just off their podcast, and and it just like makes me feel like I'm falling behind sometimes, especially because I've been doing this for so long, more than others.
Yeah.
That I'm like, why am I not there yet?
Well,
am I ever gonna get there? Is that possible?
I just pulled another card for you. So as you're talking about this, we got the 8 of Pentacles. This is the card of hard work and staying focused on your career. So interesting that this is also coming up. It's the third Pentacle card we have in a row. But I think for you, it's a reminder like, hey, if these other podcasts got there before you and whatever, like, how did they fit the mainstream audience better? Or who were they connected to that got them that opportunity faster? It's like this thing where we think society like, oh, people like Billie Eilish are just so talented and like amazing. A lot of people fail to remember that Billie Eilish, both her parents are actors. Her brother and her have had like homeschooling and training and all of these things their entire life. They have teams around them. And like, this kind of makes you an underdog because you're doing the entire thing by yourself from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Broke Girl Therapy is Stefanie Maegan. And you have to remind yourself, in this underdog position, your success is going to be so much sweeter because you are doing it on your own. And don't for a second think that you can't get one of these $23 million contracts. Like, the harder you work and the more you keep going, you're only increasing the possibility of getting these things to come to yourself. You just have to stay in the right mindset.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's another thing I always have to remind myself too, is like, I'm doing this all on my own. Like,
whereas like these other podcasts,
ground up.
Yeah, these other podcasts who have like, they've gotten these contracts, do they have other people helping them? Do they've got an editor or a team or a social media manager? Like, you have to think about these things.
Yeah. I mean, so let's, for instance, the biggest one, right? Call Her Daddy.
Right.
Which I've been compared to and all that stuff. They did start from scratch on their own. However, they were connected to people in like, the socialite scene and all that stuff, and dating athletes or whatever. I don't really know. I don't listen to their episode, but I just know like the basics of how they got started. And so I just know that, she wasn't necessarily super famous, but she knew people, who were. She was a socialite, essentially. And I'm not a socialite, you guys. Like, I'm not. I know famous people, but not like that,
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and you're not about to like be
not
like,
like within
yo,
my
give me a,
circle.
handout.
Right, and sometimes, yeah, and I don't have any nepotism at all,
Yeah.
like
Well,
at all,
this is a reminder for anybody listening too. Like if you're starting your own business or if you're working towards something, like please remember that Rome isn't built in a day. Like I run my own business and I still haven't hit what I consider to be a big break. And I've been doing Santos and the Crystal Visions for almost 4 years now. And, it's like little by little, you have to build something. And most businesses or most projects fail within the first year. And then the second, the third, if you're past your third year of doing something, that's typically a good point. If you go past your sixth year, that's typically the next milestone, and then your 10th year. And if you're not hitting something by that 10th year, okay, maybe that's alarming, but by year 6 is when things start to pick up. Are you like on 6 or 7 right now?
I think about like 7, 2016. So
Wow.
that's it. What about is it? Yeah. So it's a long time ago.
Yeah, but you have to
Obama
think,
was still in office, y'all. That's how.
yeah. But you have
That's
to
how long
think,
ago it was.
that you're building something and it's going to take time. And finding yourself takes time. And that's what we talked about in your birth chart, that Capricorn energy. Broke growth therapy is your opportunity to create your imprint on the world. And you are the sole proprietor. Don't fear. Don't be afraid. Stay with it and keep going.
One of my biggest fears is like failing.
But it's like that same fear that you have about maybe not starting that new lifestyle change, diet, or exercise routine is the same fear that's running the show about broke growth therapy. So there's only two real emotions among everything. There's fear and there's love. And if you're feeling nervous or afraid or scared that your business isn't going to transcend, that's literally, it's almost useless because it's standing in your way of like manifesting a more positive attitude. It is energetic. You've got to switch the way you feel and see things.
Yeah. That's another thing too, is like I try to like have to remind myself like you can't think like that. Like that's like such a loser mentality almost, to think like, why am I not there yet? And comparing. Like I feel like saying stuff like that and like living in the negative could feel like it's such a blockage. And so I have to like learn how to switch my mind and somehow find gratitude and just remind myself of all the things I have accomplished, and that's why even someone just reaching out and be like, oh my God, I love you, and like interacting, and sometimes it'd be the same fucking people. And I'm like, they're still here even after like all these episodes are tuning in. Like I have to remind myself of that, because that's hard to get. And I remember even just trying to even just to get that, and that was a whole struggle in its own. So I have to remind myself of that. But
Well,
there is that voice that's still fucking annoying. It's like
yeah,
you're not enough.
but that voice, like what I like to call the shadow, if you're standing in the light, you're going to cast a shadow. When people talk about Gemini and the twins in astrology, it's not, two heads. It's literally you standing, and then the shadow behind you that's cast. And that's like the thing that's following you. So what is the shadow always made out of? Fear. If we can learn to switch our fear into a higher vibration, one of the best ones that I can think of is gratitude. We can start showing gratitude and say, thank you for my life. Thank you that I don't have to work this 9-to-5 job every day. Thank you that I have an able body. And like showing your body gratitude. All right, we're going to eat a little healthier. We're going to go for a walk. We're going to get more sleep. We're going to feel happy about the work that we get to do. If you make these little micro shifts, you can become larger than life. I mean, you already are pretty incredible. If you show gratitude for the fact that you've got 274,000 followers or something like that on TikTok,
Something like that, yeah. Yeah.
So that's a
I'm
quarter of a
grateful
million.
because,
It's more than a quarter of a million.
yeah, it hasn't grown in like this whole year. It's just been a little stagnant. But I get sorry, I'm trying to get that out of my head. But
Yeah.
there's Stefanie Maegan, and then there's Stephanie Bachara. And
Yeah.
Stephanie Bachara is the producer, you know?
Yeah.
And then there's Stefanie Maegan that's like, everything's going to be okay. And we're left it, you know? So I have a producer brain and I have the delusional brain.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we need the delulu in order to get the results in life, right?
We love a delulu.
We fucking
Honestly, I feel like the younger stuff that started the show was so delusional, you know? Like, and I'm so glad she was so delusional. I'm so thankful for her. Because if I would have known how much I would have had to sacrifice and do and to get to this point and how much hard work, it would have scared me. So I'm glad that I didn't think of any of that. I was just like, I'm just having a great old time. Who even knows what's gonna happen, you know?
That's the thing about being delusional. There's really a fine line you can walk between it, because to be a dreamer, some people call you delusional. But if you have a dream in your mind and you chase it, sometimes you have to be a bit foolish in order to actually make results happen. You know, the idea of me going into a weight loss journey and trying to lose 77 pounds, that sounds really fucking hard. You know, maybe you need to be a little delulu or dream about the future to say I can get there, or to start a podcast or to start a business. I want to go back to school at 30 years old. Like, you know, there's all sorts of things that you have to be a little delusional about if you're going to make it happen. Now, we're not talking about attracting your twin flame and the soulmates and all of that, because that's a whole other story. But if you want to get the career that you want, even the relationship you want, you have to be somewhat delusional to think that it's possible.
Especially if you're dreaming like pretty big.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know, like...
There's like no roadmap.
Take me as an example. My dream was to help heal people all over the world, and I've gone to Peru. I've completed training. I'm starting a faith-based organization to help heal people with ayahuasca and trauma, and I'm a professional astrologer for a living. Like, it's pretty delulu.
That's so delulu.
But also,
that's actually very delulu. But
like what the fuck? Here I am. I'm still alive and kicking. You know, this last year was the slowest year of my business. And I thought that I was going to have to shut my LLC down. I thought I was going to fail. And I'm choosing to hold on to it and to keep doing this work, because this is what I was born to do. If you're not doing the thing that's the most authentic to you, then it's okay to let things go. But if you're letting go of your dream because you're afraid that you're not going to make it, or you're not going to be able to fund it, or you're not going to be able to do it, that's when you got to start getting creative. Or if you're...
Oh, for sure. That has been my journey the last 70 years.
Yeah. You know, and if you're afraid of not hitting that next milestone, imagine what you can accomplish if you say, fuck this fear. I'm just going to find my way around it. I'm going to start strategizing new ways.
For sure. We're both two delulu bitches.
That's
with
ADHD. With ADHD. It's so true.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So you know that we've been through shit to get to where we are.
Yeah. But if anyone listening, like, don't let your mind stop you. It's just a limiting belief. Like, if you change your mind, you can change everything in your reality. I mean, look at me. I lost 77 pounds. I'm about to start a church. I have a good relationship to food. I work out 6 days a week. These are things that I've dreamt of my whole life. I still have the dream that Santos and the Crystal Visions is going to be one of the greatest businesses on the planet and heal people and do all of that. And this was my worst year yet in my business. It's possible. You just got to hold on to the delulu.
It's okay. It's good to know. I wasn't the only worst to have a good business year.
Oh, yeah. We in a recession, boo, okay? There was a writer's strike. Like,
that's...
You know, give yourself some credit.
It was a lot. Yeah. That's so true. But 2024, I praying and hoping for growth and, you know, and for good content. Like, I want to make really entertaining shit, you know, and I want to make people laugh, make people cry, make people rethink their life. And just, I don't know, make people happy. At the end of the day, just make people happy and make myself happy while I do it. So stay tuned, y'all.
We need to bring on maybe some more of that ebony mystique or something. Get something going. Something fun.
Oh, no, yeah. Girl, I already have an episode with her. Yeah.
I
scheduled
can't
it.
wait. I can't wait.
I love Ebony. She's my girl. Like I would
She's my
honestly
girl,
hang out with
too.
Ebony like on a random Tuesday. She's just so fun. She's so
Yes.
funny. She's just such good energy.
Yes.
That's my girl. I'm so glad that you introduced me to her.
Oh my God, of course. She's my favorite. I mean, I'm going to the Adult Video Network Awards in Vegas this year again with Pineapple Support Society, which is a nonprofit.
I want to go.
You should come. We do mental health support, and your broke girl therapy. It kind of fits the brand. You know.
Oh, it's literally very on brand.
So
I've been like trying to figure out a way to. We'll talk after. I don't think they care about this one, but we'll talk after. But yeah, 'cause I've been trying to figure out a way to.
I can introduce you to Leah, who you can have on the podcast to interview her about the organization, and then she might be able to bring you on as an advocate or something. So we can definitely
Slow down.
And it would be great for her.
Okay.
She's trying to do TikTok and networking to bring mental health support to the entertainers. So, you know, let's get the ball going.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yay. Yeah. Okay. Well, should we pull one more card, or is there any last words like anything else you want to say?
Next card, the last card we have for you is the Two of Wands, or the Two of Rods in this deck. But he's holding a globe that shows that he has the whole world in his hands. He's just at the beginning of a journey, and all he needs to do is continue down the path. So this is very appropriate for you. You know, don't give up. This is literally just the beginning.
So, yeah, stay consistent. And I that's literally like the number one rule to success is just to stay consistent.
Don't give up.
So I have to keep telling myself that, like, don't feel discouraged. Keep going. This has to be hard. Okay?
It's hard out in these streets.
Okay. It's hard out in these streets. But it's okay. I love you, Danny, so much. Let's chat soon off air, and because I really want to like get it started with.
We'll start next
like
week.
Just being healthier. Okay, let's do it.
Or even
I like want to cry.
I got you.
Yeah, let's do it. Actually, let's do next. I have so much going on this week, so let's do it next week because it's slower, and I feel like I could like get it focused.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
Right.
Well, where can people find you and book you?
If you want to book me, head over to my website, www.santoscrystalvision.com. My website was created by Amy Angelo. She's a web developer if you're looking to have somebody make your website. And you can follow me on Instagram at Santos Crystal Vision. Sometimes I post flash sales for my readings. Right now I have one for Mercury retrograde if you get here in time. But always look out on my page for Mercury retrograde flash sales. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, send me a private message and we can do some life coaching together too.
Yay. And but also you have like fake Instagram accounts.
Oh my God, yes. Right? If you are following me, please be aware that there are multiple fake accounts pretending to be me, messaging my followers and soliciting a reading saying like, I have a message for you. Spirit has guided me to message you. Like the only way you can confirm that it's me is by having me send you a voice note where I'm saying my name, your name, and the date and the time. And then ask me like a fact about that. You know, confirm.
Yes. Yeah. And then to see if I follow him too. If I follow you, then that's the right.
Yes.
That's the right profile. And if you, even your fake ones be following me. So don't look at who he follows. Look at if I follow him.
Yes. Amen.
None of that fake shit. Okay, so follow me, Stefanie Maegan, or go to brocotherapy.com. All that shit is there. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Yay. Broke girl therapy.